Good morning, British Covidians, on day 59. Are you nuts? Guess what's already started on day 59? It was bound to come, wasn't it? Those horrible, well, in fact, those brilliant original teachers, originally they were brilliant, weren't they? They were out there, they were doing their job for the country, they were protecting our children, there they were leading the fight to have schools closed, stop infections spreading, protect our kids. There they were, hero teachers. Now what are they? Militant teachers. Did you read the Daily Hail? The Taglisches Heil. In today's Taglisches Heil, the Daily Hail, they are saying, time for hero teachers to step up to the plate, get our 6-year-olds and above back to school. Time for teachers to be heroes. Time to lead the charge. Come on, kids, follow the teachers. They're your heroes. This from a teacher. And I think it says a lot. I won't show you all of it. I'll read it to you. It's probably easier than you just sort of sitting there and watching at it, okay? Posted by Shabir. Shabir says, teachers are highly unionised. They organised with parents in March, forced the government to close schools. Now they are the roadblock to ending lockdown before it's safe. It should be no surprise that the right are aiming their fire at them. We have to defend them. My children, as you know, are grown up. You out there, every single one of you, defend the teachers. They're not just looking out for themselves. They're not just looking out for their safety. They're looking out for it to be safe to send your children back. As it is, it's not safe. A few others on today, which is probably mainly going to be about them. Look at this one, again from the Taglisches Heil, the Daily Mail. Look at this one. Nice to see, it says from Simeon here. Simeon says, nice to see the Daily Mail crop out the non-white kids from the stock image of a heroic teacher. There we go. Nicely cropped out, as Simeon reminds us. Yeah? See? One image and then the other. It's not easy. Let's try and bring that round there a bit. One image, then the other. Nicely cropped out. Clearly, in a newspaper like the Daily Hail, we clearly do not, under any circumstances, want that person in there, do we? No, we crop that out and we get this nice little picture in today's Daily Hail asking you, let our teachers be heroes. No more heroes anymore. And this is going to be a little bit about teachers today, because obviously they seem to be the first one that the right-wing press are starting on. And finally, says another teacher, and finally, just in terms of risk assessments, parents will want to know that their schools are going to be hygienic, they're going to be back somewhere safe, and that their children are going to be okay. And she said, and we still don't have any clear standards of safe cleaning routine within the schools, or in what context we need to send children back. Right, along with that one, that's all pretty much the case of, well, you kind of expect the Daily Hail and whatever to open fire on left-wing militant teachers. Left-wing militant teachers. A bit of post-nasal drip again. Right, left-wing militant teachers. Just think about that for a second, will you? It's a bit like the Daily Hail taking undertaking firing at left-wing militant doctors. Yeah, teachers. Just think about that for a second. Teachers. Remember when you were at school? Remember, you know, geography teacher probably with patches on the arms when I was a kid. Yeah. Remember Miss Brown who taught history or something? Remember your science teacher with the goggles on and the white coat or something? Yeah. Actually, it isn't true. Mine did not look like Dr. Mengele. Yeah. But remember, these are teachers, for crying out loud. They're not generally waving the red flag in the classroom, copy of the Communist Manifesto in the hip pocket, yeah, singing the Internationale. Not really. No, they're not. They're teachers, yeah? The people you see at parents' evening when you go and find out how little Jane or little Johnny are doing. The ones that welcomed your kids at reception class. They're teachers, right? They're not nutty little left-wing lunatics. But so much for the cheering. Now begins the demonising, because these teachers are quite a roadblock. Yup, they're not just a roadblock to getting your kids back to a good education, safe or not. No, they're not just that roadblock. I mean, even our MP, the ridiculous Brandon Lewis of Great Yarmouth, has said, well, if we get them all back, it'll be great to teach them all about washing their hands. Yeah, we can teach them to wash their hands. And, of course, children can learn to socially distance. Yeah? How do you teach 6-year-olds to socially distance? You know that schools, I mean, for God's sake, even when my kids were young, yeah, they'd come back and they'd bring practically every kind of infection with them. They were a nice little sort of, they were like a fly trap or fly paper for catching infections that were around. Sometimes it stuck to them and affected them, and then stuck to us and affected us. Sometimes it just kind of passed straight over them. They couldn't care less, really, but great, aren't they? Yeah, kids are great at spreading infections, and we don't yet. In fact, we have seen deaths in children. Do you remember the instances of what's called, I know it's a daft name for it, but it's called the Kawasaki virus? You know, I always thought Kawasaki was a motorbike. It was when I was a kid. We used to call them quacks. Yeah. Anyway, look, that's the latest technique now. Let's demonise them. What do we know about testing targets as well? Can't miss those out. 200,000 by the end of May. But when actually admitting to tests done per day, the last Tory minister even had to confess it was under 8,500. Doris, though, 200,000 by the end of May. You see, if track, test and isolate is going to work, don't you have to have the people there able to do the tests? But, you know, on that, it's a failure. Even the volunteers that they're trying to recruit to do it, 8% of the number they need. That's all they've got, 8%. So, you know, your DEFCON whatever, your DEFCON system where we can go back up to DEFCON 4, yeah, we could go back up, or we could even go back to DEFCON 5. Alert, DEFCON 5, DEFCON 5, IdiotCon 5, yeah. But, you know, the people needed to carry out these tests so that this policy could work, that we could track, trace and isolate. They're not there. The policy's not ready. The measures aren't in place. It's not going to happen before at least you send your kids back to school to become part of a vector of infection that even the government's own scientists are telling them will happen. Yeah. Look, as this one kind of mostly has been about that, you know, I don't want to forget either that we're becoming more and more aware of the actual death rate in care and nursing homes. Government don't really give you accurate figures. They can't. They don't want to. They don't want to scare you. Just like they don't want to scare you, packing you all into the tubes and whatever in London. And the latest one, just for a few humorous ones, to make car sharing okay, it's all right as long as you look the other way. Could be a bit difficult when you're the driver having to look left and right like a bloody nodding dog at road junctions. You'd have to time it with your front seat passenger. Every time you look one way, they'd look the other way. You look one way, they look the other way. Yeah. So yeah, okay, if you just don't look at each other in the cars, yeah, and also keep your windows down. It's sunny, isn't it? Yeah. It's nice and sunny. Imagine that to go back to work you need a quick trip on a bit of fast dual carriageway or a motorway that is packed with traffic. Yeah? Apart from the bloody diesel fumes and everything you're all going to be bloody breathing in, you're going to have to shout over the diesel fumes, over the noise, and guess what shouting will do to virus particles? It will spread them, just like la 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 la. Singing will spread them in church. Yeah, that's why they won't allow you to sing in church. Not that you can really gather in church at the moment, and that sounds fine to me. Yeah. They're already at it. They need you back at work to bail out the billionaires. Yep. They're already freezing public sector and nurse pay and doctors' pay and all that lot. It's perfectly clear. We're already being told major changes will be made to pensions for old people. Clearly, they're not going to get any more money. This coronavirus outbreak, for which the government were never prepared, although it was predicted, this is going to be paid for by somebody. Yeah, it has to be paid for. Guess who are going to pay for it? I'll promise you one thing. It won't be Richard Branson. It won't be old Tim Martin from Witherspoons. It won't be the owners of Amazon. It won't be any of them. It won't be the billionaires on their yachts sucking on the marrow of life, as my friend always says, with the gravy just dribbling down their chin. Nice, the old gravy dribblers sucking on the marrow of life, drinking the pina coladas, adjusting their sartorial elegance as the gravy drips and lands on there. They won't pay. The poorest, the weakest, the sickest, the oldest, they'll be paying. They're paying now, in many cases with their lives, but they'll be paying afterwards. And where's all their pensions going to go? The government is so pleased. They don't have to pay them out. Look at it this way. Every time another vulnerable, old or sick person is culled by this virus, the Tories just think, more money we can keep and give to our billionaire donors. Working well for them, isn't it? Stay safe. Support the teachers. The right-wing media, the Tories, they're opening up on them now. People supported the miners, believe it or not. They were staffed back to work. It's what the Tories do when it comes to unions. Bye.